We recorded on Tuesday. We posted on Tuesday. Between then and now, you've probably had calls from our friends. Sharp calls. What do we got?
I would say more of the calls this week were more about the favorites we didn't take. I would say a couple guys commented said I was a little too heavy on the dogs, but I mean, that's natural. I love home dogs. We got some big home dogs.
Home dogs. Home dogs.
Yep, love them.
Still feeling that Philly post-Thanksgiving accent? Home dogs are my John, yo.
I feel like the biggest one I got called about was people love the Eagles. So they thought you were getting a good number at 6.5. Again, I didn't want to touch it because of the Hurts injury. Apparently he's good to go. He will be playing. So you can still get that number. A bunch of professionals have taken that. A bunch of professionals have taken the Colts at a big number against this Houston team.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So they liked it. It was at 8.5. A couple of them bet that. Bet it again at 9. Now I'm seeing it at 9.5 at a couple of books. And, I would say that a lot of the agreement too for us this week, like we can dive in all the different games, but they're with us about our picks with the Steelers. They're agreement about the Giants, and we can talk about the Giants. They had an injury to Daniel Jones, so that line shot up all the way to 5.5. The pros didn't really care. They've already bet it down. A lot of books at 4.5. Some books might still find a 5, but like we talked about, that's why it's a little scary betting early in the week. There's a lot of unknowns, and there's going to be a lot of line movement. And I got burned a little on the Giants. I took it at 3.5, and it shot all the way up to 5.5. So I did take it again, but that just hurts where you didn't know that there was a major neck injury to Daniel Jones, and that was kind of a big news breaker.
Why do you think they're on the Eagles so heavily?
The simple fact that I don't think they see the Jets, covering against an Eagles team that they're better than they showed against the Giants. I mean, that was one of those games where Hurts just beat himself. The guy had 3 turnovers. Without those turnovers, that's a much different, closer game. So they probably looked at it and said, you know what, I'm getting under a touchdown with a playoff team. That's what, again, these professionals we've talked about all week. They've been betting the Eagles. They view them as a playoff team. That's the simple fact. They have it as a different metric where they think the books are undervaluing them. So they've just been betting them, and it's worked out some weeks. Other weeks we've seen it. They've just been getting burned by them. So it's interesting that they're still so committed to this team. I really had no feel for this, but I'm in agreement with them that 6.5 for this Eagles team. That's a good number with Hurts playing, but most books are going to be at 7 now.
Yeah, that number is going to shoot up. Also, I was listening to the Action Network podcast this morning. Stuckey also loved the Eagles minus 6.5. Just thinks this Jets team is trash. And the truth is, like Zach Wilson, graded out, one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, no, he is. And that was so painful about the Houston game. Houston, they literally had to lose, tried to lose that game to lose it. And that's what they pretty much did. So that's what was so brutal. Like, you're up 14-3 on Zach Wilson. You should be good. But no, apparently not the Houston Texans.